back, guys, to the Hit Subjective podcast, where we hit the objective and manifest the goals and dreams that we truly aspire for. And today we're going to be talking about physical fitness and feeling good in your own skin. And it's something that I feel a lot of people generally have a problem with. It's because we're basically caught up with this whole social media spectrum of what is the ideal way to look, right? You know, you see the Instagram models, you see the sports persons, the NBA stars, things of the sort, and suddenly there's this perspective from the human mind that the physical nature of another human being has to fall in line with the relativity of what the masses believe is correct. And that definitely weighs in strongly on the mind frame and so on the physique in itself. And you find out a lot of people have a problem with how they look. They don't feel generally good in their skin, and you could tell because a lot of people have a problem with expressing themselves. And what's become even more of an issue than that is the misguidance, the fact that social media and mainstream media has brought about this new element of individuality, and they have made it in such a way that right now we glorify anything. So if you're extremely overweight, there's a stereotype for you, there's a group for you. It's okay to be that way. If you're extremely underweight, it's okay to be that way. There's a group for you, there's a set of people who will embrace you, and that's how the world works today. And that's why you find that there's a lot of weird people out there, because it's almost as if, you know, we will cradle you through this issue that you're experiencing, because it's not really an issue. You're just being who you're supposed to be. That is wrong. That's my perspective, and whatever you believe about that, that's up to you. But it's wrong. We've lost a grip on what the true element of being oneself and being fully and wholesomely yourself is. We've now attached it to this trend of you are what you are and that's what it is. And if you feel okay being immensely overweight, like you deeply believe that, that's okay. But today we're going to be talking about physical fitness as well. And being immensely overweight or immensely underweight is definitely not okay. It's not physically coherent. It's not the best thing for you. And we have a problem with consumption. We have a problem with what we believe to be right. And of course, the podcast is not about itemizing problems and just, you know, lambasting people with information or scrutiny. It's about solutions. And today we're going to touch some pointers on some solutions. And generally, just by understanding what's going on, you will formulate your own solutions for yourself. Because again, this game of life that we're playing is not fair, and so you have to make it work for you. So we have been lied to by these huge corporate giants, these people who are deeply embedded in the food that you eat, in the consumption that you undergo on a regular basis, right? Literally everything that's in the supermarket right now that's packaged is not good. You might say, well, it's not good because it has preservatives, it stays on a shelf, and so with the fact that there's preservatives or additives that are unnatural, automatically it makes it artificial by theory. And I mean, that's a huge issue, because a lot of the food that we eat comes from the supermarket. A lot of the food that we eat is packaged. We need it that way, because how do you live life without having food with preservatives? Because you go month to month, you need to purchase this thing. It costs you a lot, and you need to have things that could, you know, last you. That's our general thought processing. It's a tough one. It definitely is, because there's no grip on a true natural source of food or produce that we can get at a good or reasonable rate that will also be enjoyable. And that's the issue with us. We do everything in this experience just for the pleasure of it. It's a purposeful experience. And so you must do it for the purpose of it and not just the pleasure of it. Everything you eat does not have to be enjoyable. And I'm coming to terms with that myself. Guys, I've given myself up until the end of the year to consume KFC. You know, it's like a staple. If you're from St. Lucia, or you're from the Caribbean, or if you're black, you love fried chicken, you know, and whichever fried chicken franchise that's in your neck of the woods, I'm sure you're gonna frequent there, and that's what it is. And it's a problem. Why? Because it's overpriced, number one. Number two, it is absolutely not good for you. And number three, it's a waste of your time. You know, you're better off putting in some, you know, real action behind the things that you want to have inside of you so that you can put the best outside of you. We don't realize that the things that we consume weighs in strongly on how we respond to life in the physical. So you might consume a lot of carbohydrates, and at that time you have a high level of energy which should respond to the way you deal with someone. And that's what it is. You have to keep in mind that the inner becomes the outer, and what you put inside of you is so important. Like, it's so important, guys, that it can determine how long you get to be in this experience for, right? And it's definitely a challenge. You know, don't get me wrong. I know this. It's not just a situation where you just suddenly, again, leap headfirst into action and just stop all of the bad habits. You know, that's not how it works. That's maybe Hollywood. That's probably maybe a person who has reached that point, so they've already gone through all of the mistakes, so that they can definitely channel and transmute that energy in a better fashion than you can. But it starts with the baby steps again, guys. And then maybe over the course of this podcast, you will always hear me talking about the baby steps, because these are the steps that we seem to forget, and these are the most pivotal, most vital steps as part of any process. You need to start small by slowly reducing on the crap. So I'm saying next year, guys, I'm giving myself one KFC purchase per month if I have the money for it, right? One KFC purchase. I think it's a good start. That's me. Maybe 6 months into the year, I may just cease completely. But the truth is, this is not helping me in any way. It doesn't even taste good when you really look at it. You know, I'd much prefer a home cooked meal. We find ourselves so drenched in consumerism and convenience that we forget that we have been gifted a shell. This is the shell, or the vehicle, or the vessel that you're going to use to experience this for a lifetime. And it's so important to take care of it. So start small. Reduce one bad habit. You don't have to start with 1,000,000 bad habits. That's the problem. That's why we go into crash and we burn very quickly, because you're like 100 pounds overweight. All right? You're so obsessed with food. You want to make changes. You're telling yourself that, you know how it goes. Procrastination sets in. You figure, you know what? You're going to join the gym. I see it happening all the time. You join the gym and it's like 2 months because you're trying to go hard. You're trying to do 3 days a week, 5 days a week, because you really want to lose the weight. But that's not going to work, because you're already used to a certain routine of bad habits. You're already used to it. So you must first tell yourself, I need to rid myself of mediocrity. That's it, first and foremost. The moment you start to play on your ego like that, you're going to see a sudden shift. With that sudden shift, don't be overconfident. You might say, boy, Michael, what are you saying? Don't be overconfident. Yeah, you can be overconfident. And overconfident, again, stems in or weighs in on not being ready. Remember, I talked about in the last episode, timing, setting up a goal and having a realistic timeline for that goal. And that's what you need to do. One bad habit. So if you could just comment down below, what habit you're gonna stop this year or next year, for next year, that is, because the year's almost ended, and I think we need to start gathering. People always wait for the New Year's Eve, and they wait for this year is gonna be a great one. You need to start now. So let's start laying down the bricks. So next year, we're going to have a more productive year. Simple as that. We have the issue with this consumerism thing, mainly again because we lack the knowledge. We don't know what's in that stuff, and we don't care. Someone needs to do some research, and I've done some research myself, and I could tell you, it's nearly just heart-wrenching, to be honest with you, to see that there are actually human beings out there who have control over the food and all of that, and they're like literally poisoning us. Poison, absolute poison. That's real life. These are real evil people, and a lot of us just don't even care. We don't care. We prefer just having the pleasure of eating something sweet, which again is the worst. Sugar, biggest drug addiction of the human race, and that's what sets in and weighs on all of the eating disorders that we see happening all around us. And guys, you need to care about yourself. You need to have some love for yourself. It's not just about the guy who told you, baby, you look good. You know that you're 100 pounds overweight. You know what his agenda is. Let's get real. It's not about the girl who told you, I really love you, and you really look good. You know what your bank account looks like. You know what type of car you drive. Let's get real. So, at the end of the day, you need to focus on you. Really love you for you. And so, if you love yourself, you will do something good for yourself. That's how life is. And actions scream and words whisper. So you could say it a million times that you're going to stop, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Until you come to the point of action, your words just wither away into nothingness. And you don't want that to happen, because words have power, So don't waste your time and waste your words and waste your breath, right? Every single time you breathe in and you breathe out, I read in an article, you age, the cells age. And so you're literally just slowly dying and doing nonsense with yourself. That doesn't make sense. Let's try to start putting in some focus into being our best selves. And of course, the physical is a very easy part to work on. The hard part is getting the mental strength to transmute into the physical. But the physical is the easiest part, because you just have to put some action into it. That's it. You work on your diet. Guys, just do this for me, please. One thing. And in response to that, comment down below one physical action you're going to put into motion. This year, I've started the push-ups. I've been doing 20 push-ups a day all year round. I stopped for maybe about 60 days. I missed out 60 days at some point because I managed to nearly chop my finger off. Long story, but what's beautiful is, I have this friend at work who started this challenge. It was a 60-day challenge, and we had to do 60 push-ups, right, every day for 60 days. So you could do the math. If I missed out 60 days of push-ups and I did the extra 60, I can't do the math right now. I'm not that great at it. But the point is, guys, I've started doing push-ups this year, only 20 a day. I'm not trying to stress my brain. I haven't been doing this. I'm not trying to stress my brain out. I'm not trying to stress myself out on trying to be a better person. Then that doesn't make sense. If you're stressing yourself out on trying to be better, then that's not positive stress. And stress is good once you're a positive thinker, but you're not trying to overexert yourself just because you want to see immense change. That's not how life works, guys. Baby steps. And of course, 3 months ago, I started doing this jog at VG. If you're from St. Lucia, you know where VG is. If you don't, it's whatever. But it's a beach, and there's a really nice jog, good run. I do it at least once a week. And that's how I'm trying to start to get towards a better physical life. That's it. And I mean, that's small. Guys, you need to have good people around you to try to help you to do these things. It's not, it's not about the guy again who told you look good and you know that you're overweight. It's not about the girl who told you look good and you know, it's been big belly season, bro. So we need to like tune the tides, make some real changes and some real strides. And that's how it's gonna ride. Simple as that. So focus, guys. 1 diet change, 1 physical action towards that, and let's see where it goes. I need to see some real changes. Stop getting caught up in the trends. Stop getting caught up in the fact that people are telling you it's okay. It's not okay if you really feel that it's not okay. Don't let people deter you from your goals and your dreams. How are you going to manifest the husband that you're looking for? How are you going to manifest the wife that you're looking for, and you're not looking your best, and you're not being your best, you're not eating your best? That's really what it is. And I have bad habits I need to change. We all have bad habits we need to change, right? Granted, none of us are perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about trying to be the best that you could be. All right. So this one was a short one just to touch base with you on really remembering that the vessel that your soul is in right now is super important for the experience of the soul, because it's a soul's journey. It's a soul's journey. Don't forget that. And everything you think and you experience, you feel, is a part of it. It takes you to make it great. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I just want to put you up to speed with what's coming really soon. We have mics, so if you could put 1-on-1 together, I think that's easy enough for most of us. You'll figure out what I'm trying to do. All right, so I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.